Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our next. I've finally learned how to make it full screen. Isn't that brilliant? I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. You've been reading like half a miniature screen, but I hope that you're finding it really interesting. And welcome back to your Spring 2 novel study chapter, The Endeavours of Captain James Cook. So please can we remind you that any work you are doing with on and about your class dojo, that might be answering the questions following the activity slides as well as these, but as well as that you might be doing some of your own research as well. Please can we remind you that you need to upload it to Class Dojo. So as you can see here, it says Cook returned to Britain in 1771, but the sea still called to him. His ventures weren't over yet. So let's learn all about this wonderful man, Captain James Cook. James Cook was born in Yorkshire, UK, in 1728. He was from a poor farming family, but in his teens he went to sea as a merchant apprentice and developed a fascination with ships. Cook worked furiously hard studying maths and astronomy at night before joining the Navy and working his way up the ranks. When I was young, I had ambitions to join the army, so I understood how hard Cook had to work to impress his seniors. Cook excelled and was the master of a ship before he was 30. He had already come a long way from his humble background, but his star was only just beginning to rise. A decade passed, and the Royal Society, an organisation dedicated to research, decided to join forces with the Navy on an expedition. Cook was appointed commander of the voyage and gave a ship named HMS Endeavour. She was brought by the Navy specifically for the mission. She had spent the first 4 years of her life as a coal hauler. Endeavour weighed just 368 tons, which was small even for a seafaring boat at the time. A container ship today usually weighs about 220,000 tons. Officially, the expedition's aim was to observe the planet Venus from the island of Tahiti, but Cook had a secret mission too, to explore the mysterious waters between Asia and the Americas and try to find a large continent in the southern hemisphere which would balance out all the land that had been discovered in the northern hemisphere. The cartographers who suspected the landmass existed called it Terra Australis, which so with a crew of astronomers, artists and scientists on board, Endeavour sailed from Plymouth in August 1768. May I remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that you can always pause these videos and research some of these definitions, such as astronomer, southern and northern hemisphere, etc. And you can always come back to these teaching and learning novel study points. Pause the video now if there are any videos that you'd like to look up, any keywords you'd like to look up. Hello and welcome back. I hope you're all well and you looked up some of those key definitions, maybe of the other videos as well as these. Please remember that all you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, is just pause the videos and then come back to me. So let's continue now. It says here, in the I can't say it, Pacific Islands, Cook came across tattoos for the first time. Many of the islanders would mark their skin extensively with traditional tribal body art. Sometimes they depicted Oro, also known as Maui, the war god of Tahiti. He is said to enjoy fighting and demands human sacrifices during wartime, but becomes the god of peace in peacetime. Cook witnessed a human sacrifice to Oro while in Tahiti. Here he is there. The intrepid expedition sailed on to New Zealand and continued west to Australia. Endeavour was the first European ship to reach its east coast, landing at a natural harbour that Cook named Botany Bay. Endeavour nearly ran aground to the Great Barrier Reef, the world's largest coral reef that lurked beneath the waves, and Cook had to throw the ship's guns overboard to lighten the load and help the boat move again. Further danger awaited the travellers when they were struck by fever, claiming the lives of 30 expedition members. The survivors set a course for home, travelling via Jakarta in Indonesia and the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa. Cook returned to Britain in July 1771, having circumnavigated the globe. Famous throughout the land, he even met the king. But the sea still called to him. Cook's adventures weren't over yet. So let's have a look now, as we haven't in a while, but let's have a look through this map that we've been given. So let's have a little look first at this little piece of information here, which says Cook's voyages. In 1772, Cook set sail in the HMS Resolution and headed south. He even entered the Antarctic Circle before being forced to turn back by ice storms and extreme cold. I'm not surprised. Cook could have retired rich, but he still sought out the Northwest Passage linking the Pacific and Atlantic. He set off in 1776, but was unable to discover the route. The expedition landed on Hawaii. The islanders were very friendly, but a row broke out when they stole one of Cook's boats. He was stabbed to death when he tried to recover it. It was a tragic end for the great captain, but his 3 daring voyages ensured his legacy and an incredible exploring and pioneer. So let's have a look here where it says first things first. Let's always remember that this is our key. These dots show the different voyages he went on and the dates between them. So as you can see, it starts in Plymouth, as we know. So a chronometer is a clock that can function in spite of the motion of a ship and a variation in temperature. This was necessary for Cook's expeditions because they travelled between very hot places like Africa and very cold places like Antarctica. On the 17th of January 1773, HMS Resolution was the first recorded vessel to cross the Atlantic Circle, but was not able to travel further due to the bad weather and icebergs. As you can see, he's travelled all over the world. I genuinely cannot believe it. Captain Cook was one of the first Western explorers to visit New Zealand. On his initial trip, he gathered details about the plants and animals he found there, including the bellbird, little penguin, and cabbage tree. On his next 2 voyages, he used New Zealand as a base for search for Antarctica. Scurvy, which you can see here in this lovely illustration, was a disease common on ships of the time because sailors often weren't able to eat fresh fruit or vegetables, so didn't get enough vitamin C. That's why it's always important, ladies and gentlemen, to eat our 5 fruit and veg a day. I think it's up to 7 now as well. But Cook had made his crew eat cress and pickled cabbage to ensure that they got enough nutrients. He didn't lose a single crew member to scurvy. That's clever. Well done, Cook. And finally, on his second voyage, Cook brought aboard a Tahitian named Omai, who returned to England with the crew and became popular with the British aristocracy. Omai even met the King of England. This is where he finished here, ladies and gentlemen. That's all of our information about the wonderful Captain Cook. If you do any other research, ladies and gentlemen, and want to find out some more, please do not hesitate, making sure that we remember to use our child-friendly and child-safe website, and please don't forget to ask a parent or carer's permission at home. If you do any other research or when you finish your learning for today, please do not forget to upload to Class Dojo, and if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to get in contact. Speak to you soon. Bye!